Waiting for pairing.
The war over the Strait of Hormuz has already begun, and we will...
Shalom, shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rekal Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the GMS that rule and teach well in the scriptures. Salutation to Akim that are doing this work in truth and faith and in all sincerity.
Bring you the secret move now taking shape off the coast of Iran. Who knows if he's alive or dead? What happened to Iran's nuclear business? Trust me, the conversation with the also said, as far as I'm concerned, we have basically already defeated Iran. A new monster was seen in the skies over Tehran. The American A-10, the attack aircraft for 40 years has no replacement. And it has entered the campaign in Iran. And we will bring you all the information about the old aircraft that makes F-35 pilots panic. The wave of desertions in the Revolutionary Guards is expanding. And now it's reaching the Middle East ranks and also other ranks within the military as well. And the IDF struck more than 300 targets in western and central Iran over the last 24 hours. Iran's skies are filled with black smoke and explosions because the Israeli Air Force is in another broad wave of strikes against infrastructure of the Revolutionary Guards and the regime. Iran's missile production has dropped to zero. Israel and the United States announced there is no shortage of missile interceptors in the country after false information and rumors spread throughout social media platforms and main news agencies. There is no shortage of interceptors, neither for Israel nor for the United States. This is Iranian fake news. It was stated both by the United States and by the IDF. The end of the Iranian drone swarms. The United States has placed around Iran the silent killer, the electronic weapon that no one talks about. This is the military technological revolution that will shut Iran down. Mati Shoshani will bring us all the details. Iran is not only fighting, it is spreading fake news. Trump declared today Iran is using artificial intelligence to spread fake news to cover for the fact that they have a weak army. The Gulf states are under daily attacks, but neither Saudi Arabia nor Bahrain is taking fire the way that Qatar is because of its closeness to the United States, yet the Qatari media outlet Al Jazeera is still spreading lies and hatred about the United States themselves. Iran is begging its proxies to join for the Houthis and also Hezbollah, and that is a sign of severe distress. And in Lebanon, the IDF is completing Operation Treasure Chest. The Israeli Air Force is destroying dozens of banks that were used to finance Hezbollah in the heart of Lebanon. The IDF spokesperson said at least 3 weeks remain in the operation in Iran. I'm Yair Pinto, with me is Mati Shoshani, and we are the boots on the ground that bring you all the truth about what's happening in Israel and all the reports of the epic Fury War, or by its Israeli name, Lion's Roar. And this is day 17 of the war, and it is already on its way. The struggle over the Strait of Hormuz is becoming the central arena of confrontation between Iran and the United States, as Tehran tries to leverage its control over the world's most important energy crossroads in order to pressure the global economy, deter the West, and ensure the survival of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards in Iran. And above me in the skies, I'm hearing interceptions of incoming rockets or drones by either Hezbollah in Lebanon or by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Israel and the United States have approved operational plans for the next 3 weeks in order to completely destroy the capabilities of the revolutionary regime in all of its components. 70% of the missile launchers have been put out of use or destroyed, and the missile production has dropped to zero. Iran is trying to change the picture of the campaign by blocking its enemies from the strait through which 1/5 of the world oil is going through. And we will show you how it is squeezing the global economy and trying to squeeze the United States as well. Israel and the United States announced Hormuz will be opened at any cost. reports are coming in of desertions in the Revolutionary Guards and in the Iranian police. A source close to the Revolutionary Guard says the phenomenon is expanding. According to him, in Isfahan and Tabriz, desertions are already being recorded in large numbers, and the phenomenon is also spreading to more senior ranks. Abbas Arakshi made a bizarre claim. Trump started the war just for fun. Do you think that's true? Let me know. And the IDF announced over the last 24 hours the elimination of senior figures in the Iranian security establishment as part of a broad wave of strikes. And at the same time, the United States continues to destroy missile infrastructure and Iranian naval facilities. And according to Trump, around 90% of Iran's missile array has been destroyed. According to a report in the Wall Street Journal, the Trump administration is forming an international coalition that will secure merchant ships in the maritime corridor near Iran. The countries involved are still debating whether to begin escort operations during the fighting itself. Trump's demand to the allies: we need every possible kind of help. The President of the United States is demanding that the allies assist in the struggle against Iran and in the efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, to which around 20% of the world's oil supply passes. According to him, Washington needs every possible kind of help. The end of the missile threat. The irreversible damage to Iran's defense industry has been exposed. The IDF achieved air superiority within 24 hours and hit hundreds of defense systems and missile launchers in Iran. And this is according to a military source. According to him, the scale of launches in Iran has declined following the damage to the infrastructure and to the command within the Revolutionary Guards. Changing the Middle East, the Gulf states finally understood that they need Israel. It seems that the IDF is on its way to changing the entire Middle East. It is focused on destroying Iran's defensive production systems, has erased about 90% of Hezbollah's firepower, and has emptied southern Shiite Lebanon, which has stirred anger against terror organizations. The digital blackout in Iran is worsening tonight, with reports of ATM systems that are failing, data center shutdowns, and emergency notices to communications and to providers. A senior IDF official says that the public in Israel and around the world almost does not understand what's really happening in Iran. In Gaza or Lebanon, almost every strike is documented within minutes. Videos go up on social media. Pictures are circulated on Telegram channels. In Iran, the situation is the opposite. The regime limits the internet and sometimes even shuts it down completely, and there is almost no documentation from the ground. And meanwhile, in Lebanon, at this hour, the IDF is striking Hezbollah terrorist infrastructure in Beirut in an offensive Israeli Air Force operation in Lebanon. Hezbollah's main money pipeline in the El Qadr Hassan Association was hit. 24 banks, 3 money warehouses holding large munitions of cash, and 2 management centers were destroyed during the successful operation. Another economic blow to the terrorist organization was the elimination of the head of the finance branch in the Lebanon core of the Quds forces, which, according to the defense establishment, is defined as the most significant elimination in that arena. And we will bring you all the details on the extreme step taken by President of Lebanon against Hezbollah. He publicly declared that they must be put on trial. The tension in the Middle East is rising minute by minute, so let's dive into the details. I'm Yair Pinto, with me is Mati Shoshani, and we are the boots on the ground that bring you all the truth about what's happening in Israel. And this is day 17th of the war against the Revolutionary Guards in Iran, which is the head of the crumbling axis of evil in the Middle East. A second before we begin, I want to call on you to keep spreading the truth. Share our content with as many people as possible. Click the subscribe button, and most importantly, do not forget to look for me, Yair Pinto, and Mati Shoshani on social media platforms in order to get the behind-the-scenes look of what's Israel like under war, under fire against Iran. So, Shalom Mati, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Yair. How are you?
Good.
Catching up on my
Did you
emails
also
while you were-
push-ups? You did some push-ups before the live?
I did push-ups earlier today.
Okay, that's good.
Dips to strengthen
Mati,
the shoulders.
What I have three points that I want to address today.
Yeah.
One is the center of the fighting right now. It seems like it's the Strait of Hormuz. Is it clear to everyone why? Maybe you can elaborate.
Yeah, I'd say there are two center points now for the war that we're fighting. One is an economic war, and let's call it the regional war that's taking place in the sea and the Straits of Hormuz. And the second one is Iran's attempt to really pull in proxies, which I'll touch, I think, in a second. And I'm sure you'll touch on at length regarding Hezbollah later on. But the first one really is the financial war. Financial war being what happens in the Straits of Hormuz, or the Strait of Hormuz, since it's a single strait apparently. So what do we know about the Strait of Hormuz? The Strait of Hormuz is the border between Iran proper, and then on the other side of that strait, you have Oman, one of the Gulf states, and then up the coastline, of course, all the other Gulf states, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, etc. They're all over there. But what's important about this strait is that it's about 20% of the world's crude oil that passes there every day. Before this war, we're talking 110 to 120 oil tankers per day.
Now, just to address that issue, it really doesn't matter whether it's 20, 10, or 5%. What really matters is the whole world is economically connected. There's an economic supply chain that's interconnected by all countries of the world. And they mainly run through America, but they're still connected even if they don't run through America. What happens is, since the system is so delicate, it doesn't take much to fracture it. And by closing the Strait of Hormuz, one event can last months. And so we know that this event here has been ongoing for over 14 days, approximately. So, with that being said, you have 14 days of the oil being restricted. And it's mainly to United States and Israel, the the state of Israel, mainly. And so, with that being said, America has released the reserve supplies to keep the prices down. What happens when those supply chains or those Salakia, those reserves are no longer can be used and they're depleted? And so this is going into the Ezekiel 38 chapter. Okay, I believe I speak as a man, and like I've mentioned so time and time again, that this war and these moves that these countries are making is further uh, putting the cracks in the economy for the economy to crash. And the economy crashes and is rebooted by the MOTB system. And the missiles don't drop in Babylon, aka America, until the MOTB system is fully operational. A lot of the Akim know this. It's basically preaching to the choir when it comes to these very sensitive points. about this Ezekiel 38 war that we're talking about. Now, what is predicted is that if Iran loses so many of its army personnel due to this war, they're going to ask for the aid of Russia and China, with Libya and a few other areas of Africa, and Turkey, which is Gomer, and you got Gog and Magog, which is the chief prince of the land. Ra'osh is the land and the person in charge of the land, which is formerly the land of Japhet. This war is what we've been looking for a very long time, because this war symbolizes that not only prophecy is in effect, but we're moving into the phase of the rest of the prophecies, the domino effect. And we know that the hopefully elect are looking to be delivered out of all of this mess that is soon to happen. As soon as these reserves run dry, I believe that all chaos is going to be unleashed. Civil unrest, everything spoken of in the scriptures. This is what
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune.
Thank you very much.
This is what we need. Okay, many of us are in a state of poverty, and that's what's spoken of
Right?
about the servants or Israel in general as a whole are in a position of servitude and captivity, which we are looking to get out of. And check this out. These leaders have already been debriefed that opening up a large scale attack by the way of ground troops is going to be costly. Not impossible, but costly.
Do you know that it is a gigantic task to launch a ground invasion in Iran? Let's analyze. Iran's geography is a natural fortress. Encircled by towering mountain ranges, it naturally repels invaders. From the west, the Zagros Mountains run 1,600 kilometers along Iraq, with peaks over 4,000 meters and narrow passes
Call
that choke
Halal
armor
Yahweh
and
Bashem Yahweh
expose
Shah.
convoys. This is the reason why
In
during the
44.
1980s Iran-Iraq War, Iraqi troops took Khorramshahr but stalled in Khuzestan foothills, trapped by terrain in an 8-year stalemate, costing over 1 million total casualties. To the north, the Alborz Mountains shield Tehran, abruptly climbing from the Caspian Sea's shores, funneling any assault into deadly choke points. Eastern borders with Afghanistan feature jagged uplands prone to flash floods. The interior? Vast, scorching deserts like Dasht-e-Kavir's salt flats and Dasht-e-Lut's 158-degree heat. Quicksand for vehicles is hell for troops. Southern coasts along the Persian Gulf lead straight into Zagros foothills, complicating amphibious landings. Spanning 1.65 million square kilometers, Iran's terrain would demand immense logistics. It also favors the decentralized mosaic defense doctrine of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, ensuring local units continue fighting even if the capital falls. If anyone knows history, ground invasion of Iran isn't just tough, it's a strategic nightmare.
These people are stupid. America's stupid. And these other heathen countries have no idea that they have to pay first with the southern kingdom, because judgment and recompense have not happened unto them yet for what they've done since damn near the beginning of time. The southern kingdom lost the land around 2,600 years ago, and add another, I don't know, 750 years for the northern kingdom, which makes up primarily the Hispanic speaking, Spanish speaking, Hispanic, Latino, and Native American tribes. This is, he's going to call in everything that the heathen nations have done unto the children of Israel. Therefore, hence you have the valley of Jehoshaphat. They don't understand that this war is not only for the demise of Babylon the Great, aka the daughter of Babylon, aka Mystery Babylon. They do not understand that not only will America be judged, and Edom will be judged more harshly, but the other heathen nations will be judged as well. They're all stepping into a trap. And the outcome is retribution. And also the outcome is captivity for anyone on the planet that does not come from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Esau does not belong to the lineage of Jacob. Esau belongs to the lineage of Isaac. The blessings and the birthright was bestowed upon Jacob. Jacob's descendants are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered abroad, with the highest concentration in the Americas. So, with that being said, this war spells disaster for all heathen nations. You have our people sprinkled upon every nation on the planet. Why? Because Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, have been in captivity by every nation upon the planet. This is the return of Yahweh Shai to start the 1,000-year reign. His return starts the 1,000-year reign. And so, Lord willing, I'm able to make a part two, but here in all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Hashem, Kadash. And until next time, Shalom.